We need a philosophy major, a computer scientist, and a quantum physicist. Maybe even a neuroscientist as well. And then we can decide whether or not free will exists or not, okay? Hard determinism sees free will as an illusion and believes that every event and action has a cause. Behaviorists are strong believers in hard determinism. Their most forthright and articulate spokesman has been B.F. Skinner. Concepts like free will and motivation are dismissed as illusions that disguise the real causes of human behavior. In Skinner's scheme of things, the person who commits a crime has no real choice. He or she, or they, is propelled in this direction by environmental circumstances and a personal history, which makes breaking the law natural and inevitable. For the law-abiding, an accumulation of reinforcers has the opposite effect. Having been rewarded for following the rules in the past, the individual does so in the future. There is no moral evaluation or even mental calculation involved. All behavior is under stimulus control. That's hard determinism. Soft determinism. Soft determinism represents a middle ground. People do have a choice, but that choice is constrained by external or internal factors. For example, being poor doesn't make you steal, but it may make you more likely to take that route through desperation. Soft determinism suggests that some behaviors are more constrained than others, and that there is an element of free will in all behavior. Free will. Free will is the idea that we are able to have some choice in how we act and assumes that we are free to choose our behavior. In other words, we are self-determined. So, for a very, very, very long time, I was dead set on hard determinism, okay? But then I thought about something. Now this may be, chat, feel free to bully me, because this might be really, really dumb, but maybe it's not. What are 3 things I can do? I can tap my nose. That's a thing I can do. I can open my mouth multiple times. That's another thing I can do. I can blink my eyes multiple times, okay? That's a thing I can do. These are 3 things I can do right now in this moment in time. Now, of course, the order that I prescribe these now are an influence of like my cognitive ability, which ones I thought of first, which ones are more like recognizable traits of a face, like what are some things you can do, stuff like that. But what if I do this? Random number generator. And I assign each of these things to one number. Touch my nose is 1, open my mouth is 2, and blink my eyes is 3. Okay? And I hit this. Could determinism have predicted that? I had a range of options, and that range of options which I picked are a product of my circumstances, my biology, my environment, But exactly which one I chose to pursue was in the hands of this random number generator, right? And assuming that this really is random, then how would that have been predicted? You don't need the corresponding behavior. That's an addition. You react to the number, so have no choice. The real question is, are there random events? That's the thing. I feel like the best point to attack that would be saying that this isn't really random. Computers are unable to generate truly random numbers. What an RNG spits out are pseudo-random numbers. I.e., the algorithm is deterministic, but so complex that you can't really predict what will come out. Well, there you go. This is why I wanted philosophy people and computer science people here. MIT, give me this. Can a computer generate a truly random number? This seems to indicate that truly random number thingies don't actually exist. And that from the creation of the algorithm, you could technically somehow predict, if you had all the information that was necessary, what it would, generate when I click the button right now. But then it says like there is truly random, but that truly random doesn't seem to make, oh my God, doesn't seem to make sense to me, because if it's based on things like thermal or atmospheric noise, hold on, let me check. Atmospheric noise. Oh, but this should be possible. This should be possible to measure then and predict, right? If you had if technology was advanced enough to be able to do this. Maybe. I'm inclined to believe that free will and randomness does exist to a human-defined extent, but the goal of progressive should be creating a society with as many choices as possible. And yeah, I think we're all on the same page when it comes to like policy decisions, right? I believe that we should make like policy decisions obviously based on a deterministic understanding of the world. Okay, I think I need to understand what compatibilism is. Okay. This all to me intuitively makes sense. This determinism paragraph. Compatibilism. This is where compatibilism comes in. Most philosophers throughout history have had opinions on the question of free will, and many prominent ones such as David Hume, Thomas Hobbes, and most recently Daniel Dennett have championed the idea of there being no issue with free will existing in a deterministic universe. If a society started believing that there is no free will, this would completely undermine our founding doctrines and system of law. How do you punish someone if they literally couldn't have acted any other way? I disagree. I think this is a bad argument. I heard this being used on a Destiny debate a while back, where someone was like, how can you be a determinist? So what's the point of having punishment for crimes then, right? If we can do anything about it, then why should we punish people for it? And the simple answer to this is that punishments are a form of deterrence as well, right? If we have a punishment for somebody doing this thing, then that will play part in the risk-reward analysis that takes place in people's heads, even in a like a deterministic world, like in what their choice will be. So if, for example, you know, there is a world like we fully deterministic, okay, two different universes, and in one of the universes, what happens when, you know, you steal bread from the supermarket is that you just have to give it back, and in the other one, you go to prison or whatever, okay? Now, in one of these worlds, it's possible that the person doesn't do it, because when they do the risk analysis in their head, they're like, okay, I need the bread, but I don't need it that badly that I'm gonna risk jail time for it. Whereas in the other universe, they might be like, you know what? I don't need this bread like a lot, but if there is no punishment, I may as well do it, right? That's the point of punishments, even under a deterministic understanding of the world, right? Because it's a deterrence. So this is a bad argument, to me. If it helps, philosophers have been debating this for centuries. It's okay not to be sure. Are you telling me that Rose Wrist, the 17-year-old Zoomer from Sweden, is not able to solve an issue that has been a philosophical debate for like hundreds of years? This is how it started. This is how all this started. Can't just random number generators disprove determinism? You look up virtual particles. Okay. In physics, a virtual particle is a transient quantum fluctuation that exhibits some of the characteristics of an ordinary particle while having its existence limited by the uncertainty. This tells me nothing. I have no idea what this means. Why? How did this turn into a physics research stream? Quantum indeterminacy. Quantum indeterminacy is the apparent necessary incompleteness in the description of a physical system. I'm going to need a quantum mechanist on this later to tell me what this means. Quantum fluctuations. Okay, let's Google this. Quantum fluctuations. Okay, this is cool. This makes sense to me. No, okay. This seems to be completely random then, from what I've understood here. Well, let's just double check. Quantum fluctuations random. Okay. God damn it. Quantum physics in a nutshell, well, yes, but actually no. True. Okay, you know what? I am sending out a call for help, okay? I want a philosopher, a computer scientist, and a quantum physicist to come here and join the Big Brain Voice channel with yours truly, Rose Wrist, and we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure out this whole free will determinism nonsense, okay? Brain slush right now. I can feel my brain moving as I move my head around.